'Cause I came to shake the frame in half, with the thoughts that bomb, shit like meth. Corey Woods, known to the world as Raekwon the Chef, was born in Brooklyn in 1970 but raised in Staten Island, where he would meet his future Wu-Tang Clan brothers. Raekwon has always been a storyteller at heart. His life experiences growing up in the projects amidst drugs and crime gave him an unfiltered perspective, but it's his ability to turn that perspective into vivid, cinematic rhymes that made him one of the standout members of Wu-Tang. From a young age, Raekwon absorbed the world around him, seeing how street life and survival often collided with personal dreams and aspirations. Raekwon's artistry blossomed alongside his drive to not just talk about the streets but to bring the stories to life, filled with nuanced detail and personality. His influences spanned from Rakim to Slick Rick, and he built upon their foundation by injecting raw, gritty realness into his verses. When Wu-Tang burst onto the scene in the early 90s, Raekwon's presence on tracks like CREAM and Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nothing Ta F. Wit was unmistakable. He had the voice of a storyteller who lived the life he rapped about, blending street philosophy with hard-hitting imagery. His 1995 solo debut Only Built for Cuban Links solidified his reputation as one of hip-hop's most dynamic lyricists. The album is a mafioso rap masterpiece, setting the template for future generations of rappers who aspired to Raekwon's combination of streetwise lyricism and narrative depth. Raekwon's ability to blend vivid detail with raw emotion made him a key architect of the Wu-Tang sound, shaping the group's identity with his deep, cinematic tales. His nickname, The Chef, reflects his skill in cooking up complex verses, taking basic ingredients from his life and turning them into gourmet lyrical meals. Raekwon's line, "'Cause I came to shake the frame in half, with the thoughts that bomb, shit like math," is a perfect embodiment of his approach to lyricism. He starts with an aggressive intent, to shake the frame in half, indicating that his purpose on this track is to leave a lasting impact. The imagery here is physical and forceful, evoking the idea of him breaking down barriers with his rhymes. Raekwon isn't here just to rap, he's here to shatter expectations and redefine what's possible in the genre. The phrase, "shake the frame," suggests that he's disrupting the very structure of the song, breaking it apart with his flow and delivery. When he follows up with the thoughts that bomb, Raekwon brings in another layer of complexity. The metaphorical bombs in his thoughts reflect the explosive nature of his ideas. His words are not just meant to be heard, they're meant to hit hard, leaving a lasting impact. The way he juxtaposes intellectualism and street knowledge is captured in the phrase, "shit like math." Mathematics is structured, precise, and logical, qualities that Raekwon brings to his rhymes. Even when he's rapping about the chaos of street life, there's an underlying logic to his delivery. His thoughts may be explosive, but they're carefully calculated to land with maximum impact, much like solving a complex equation. The rhyme scheme in this line is deceptively simple, but it's the internal rhythm and flow that makes it stand out. Cane and frame create a tight internal rhyme, while half and math serve as the bookends, giving the verse a sense of symmetry. But what's genius here is how Raekwon's delivery amplifies the meaning of the words. He stretches out frame in half, creating a break in the flow that mimics the action he's describing, as if he's literally shaking the rhythm apart before snapping it back together with thoughts that bomb. The controlled chaos of this technique mirrors his lyrical style. Raekwon thrives on building tension, then releasing it in bursts of imagery and insight. Raekwon's ability to inject complex themes into straightforward language is one of the reasons his lines resonate on multiple levels. The mention of math is a nod to the calculated precision of his rhymes, but it also hints at something deeper. In the 5% Nation teachings that many Wu-Tang members followed, mathematics represents the science of life, a way to understand the universe and one's place within it. For Raekwon, math is not just arithmetic, it's about making sense of the chaos around him and reflecting that understanding in his verses. This connects his rhyme to the broader Wu-Tang philosophy of using intellect and wisdom as weapons, just as much as street knowledge. Raekwon's verse in "Protect Ya Neck" reveals the essence of his role within Wu-Tang. He's the architect, the one who builds narratives layer by layer, brick by brick. His imagery is dense, and his wordplay often contains hidden meanings that become clearer with each listen. "Shake the frame in half" isn't just about making noise, it's about structural disruption. Raekwon's goal as a rapper has always been to push the boundaries of what's possible in a verse, to break down conventional ideas of what hip-hop should sound like and reconstruct it with his own vision. Despite being one of the most respected lyricists in the game, Raekwon has faced his share of challenges. His solo career didn't take off immediately after Wu-Tang's rise, as he often had to fight for recognition in a crowded field of talented MCs. Still, his influence is undeniable. Only Built for Cuban Links is considered one of the greatest hip-hop albums of all time, influencing everyone from Nas to Jay-Z, with its blend of street narratives and luxurious, cinematic production. Raekwon's storytelling set a new standard for what rap albums could be, and his meticulous approach to lyricism has inspired a generation of rappers who aim to bring depth and complexity to their bars. In the line, "Thoughts that bomb, shit like math," Raekwon is also touching on the duality of his persona, the streetwise philosopher who can drop jewels of wisdom in the middle of a verse about street life. His thoughts are explosive, designed to shake listeners out of complacency, but they are also structured and purposeful. Raekwon's rhymes don't just happen, they are carefully constructed, like mathematical equations, where every word and every beat serve a purpose. His ability to balance raw emotion with intellectual depth is what has made Raekwon such a powerful force in hip-hop. He brings the streets to life with vivid imagery, but he also asks listeners to think, to engage with his words on a deeper level. His verse in "Protect Ya Neck" is a perfect example of this balance. On the surface, it's aggressive and in your face, but underneath, it's a tightly controlled display of lyrical genius. Raekwon's ability to shake the frame is as much about disrupting the listener's expectations as it is about breaking down the barriers of what rap can be.